Hello, everybody. My name is Cynthia Kane, and I am one of the librarians at the Emporia State University Libraries and Archives. I am also your librarian liaison for counselor education. And when we finish this tutorial, I will make sure that you have all the information you need to contact me if you would like to visit with me with a Zoom appointment or via email or on the telephone if you have any questions about how to do research in career counseling for this class or for any other class that you're taking here at ESU. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to use several of the resources from the William Allen White Library's webpage to find additional information for any papers or projects that you happen to be working on for your careers counseling class. Now we're going to start with Google Chrome, but I should note that if you prefer to use another browser, everything that I do can be used in different browsers. I'm just going to be using Google Chrome for this demonstration. You'll notice that I'm starting at the main Google page in Google Chrome, and I have up in my search bar, emporia.edu/library. That is the shortcut way of getting to our library's webpage. So once I go to emporia.edu/library, that URL will take me to the University Libraries and Archives webpage. And this is where we're going to be starting our searches from here on out. What you can do at this point then is bookmark our webpage, and then you can always have that accessible to you for future reference. I wanted to show you some things on this page before we start searching. Whenever Ask Us for Ask a Librarian happens to be live, that means that you could be chatting with a librarian live on our chat reference. Now, our chat reference is probably the best way of finding out quick questions such as, do you have a book? Do you have access to a journal article? I probably would not encourage you to use the chat if you have an in-depth research question. I would really prefer it if you would contact me, and then I can help you more specifically with that information you need. But whenever the Ask Us feature is live, you would also be able to chat with a librarian live through Zoom simply by clicking this link. And again, that's very good for quick questions or quick information. You can contact the library's reference desk as well at 620-341-5207 or email at libref01@emporia.edu, and we'll be happy to help you with any of your research questions. For today, I'm going to be focusing upon 3 areas in particular in the library's webpage: the Discovery Search Catalog, databases, and finally journals. We're going to click on the Discovery Search Catalog first. This link is going to be your best way of finding out if specific items are owned by William Allen White Library. So for the purposes of this demonstration, I want to see if our library has access in particular to any ebooks or electronic books that I could read online that would help me in the field of career counseling or career development, working with different clients. Now, I happen to be on campus. When you are searching, you'll probably have a link up here toward the top of the screen that would ask you to log in for access. If you have a link like that at the top of the screen, click on it and then log in with your ESU username and password. This is the very same information that you would use to access campus and also your student email. Now I'm going to scroll down here first because I'm going to tell the catalog that I only want my search for information to be for ebooks. I really don't want any other type of information. And I'm focusing upon ebooks because I want something that's readily accessible to read online. I'm going to go back up here and click on Abstract. You're going to see me do this throughout the tutorial as well. This just simply means that any words that I type in will actually be focused and found in the abstract or the summary of an item. This is a key feature when you're searching any type of database through a library. The reason is that if you have the full text of books or the full text of articles that are included in a database or electronic resource, if you don't limit by abstract, you're going to be searching throughout the full text of those items. Now, you will find results, but those results may not really have anything to do with your true information need because you're searching throughout the entire full text. Searching in the abstract will find the words in the abstract or the summary of the item, and you might not find as many results, but they're going to be a lot more focused for your information need. Now, at this point, I want to find ebooks that would deal with career counseling. Notice as I started to type in my search, I'm getting suggestions to search for career counseling or career development or vocational guidance and some other possibilities. I want to select that. The reason is that I might not have thought of some of these other words to search on, such as vocational guidance, vocational counseling, occupational guidance. These are actually synonyms for my original term, and it means that I will probably be able to find some ebooks and other items that might not have come up the first time if I had only limited just to a specific term of career counseling. So let the database or let the resource help me find these suggested words. We will search. And the first one doesn't really have anything to do with my topic, but as we start scrolling down, particularly on record number 3, now I'm starting to find some ebooks that would look a little bit more interesting and appropriate to my research need. I could read a description of the book, and then if I go to PDF full text, and again, if you're not already logged onto the Discovery Search Catalog, you might get another prompt when you click on that PDF full text to log in with your ESU username and password. So don't be surprised if you do get that. Now, the great part about this feature is that if I'm comfortable doing this, I can just read parts or the entire ebook online by scrolling or by using my navigation arrows down here to go through the book. If I find a section or a chapter over here on the left side that might look a little bit more interesting, such as assessment and occupational information, I can click directly on that section or chapter and go to it. Notice what's happening over here too. If I wanted to download a specific chapter within limits, I couldn't download the entire ebook and keep it forever. But if I did find a chapter that looked rather interesting, I could download this particular chapter as a PDF, and then I would be able to read that offline. So it's whatever you're comfortable doing and reading. This particular ebook has unlimited copies available. That simply means that an unlimited number of people affiliated with ESU can read and access this book online. Now up here, you're going to see a button that says full download, and this can be a little bit misleading. It does not mean that you're downloading the entire book automatically. The full download means that you could check out a copy of this ebook to read offline for 14 days, very similar to checking out the print copy of a book. If you're interested in that, you can contact us at the library's reference desk, and we'd be happy to help you with that feature. Or again, you can just go ahead and read this book online. And I'm going to click on this back feature to go back to my search. And I'm going to go back to result list. And I could look for other books that have to do with career counseling or vocational guidance. career counseling interventions, and so forth. So definitely use the Discovery Search Catalog if you're looking for ebooks related to counseling, career development with clients. And I think you'll be able to find some interesting items that you could use for further research. We're going to switch a little bit here. I'm going to go back to the library's webpage, which should stay open in a separate tab. And now I'm going to switch to databases. And under here, you can actually limit your search for specific databases to use to find articles for a topic by different subject areas. Now, what I'm going to use, I happen to know the specific name for it, so I'm just going to go directly to it. And this is one that may be familiar to you. This is the PsycInfo database. Now, PsycInfo is also very useful for career counseling, career development, because it actually contains a lot of articles from scholarly journals that can help you with different needs for clients if you're doing research in that specific area. I'm going to do something here that's a little bit different, and I do encourage you to do this whenever you're in the PsycInfo database or any other databases that are from the databases A to Z list. I'm going to click on Sign In. And this is a little bit different. I'm actually going to sign into something called my EBSCOhost account by clicking on Continue with Google. And you could continue with your g.emporia.edu account. And the reason I did this is that in the PsycInfo database, I would like to be able to save articles as I go along and organize them. If you're signed into your EBSCOhost account in PsycInfo or in another type of database, this makes it very easy to keep track of your research. Articles that you save will not go away until you decide that you are going to delete them. So a very handy feature when you have a lot of projects. I'm going to go directly now to an advanced search. Now this is going to look familiar. Remember when I limited my abstract in the Discovery Search Catalog? I'm going to do the same thing. Now in PsycInfo, what I'm interested in finding out now would be to see if I could find different articles that might deal with career counseling or career development or vocational guidance. The nice part about PsycInfo is that it will let you find these articles from peer-reviewed journals, but we're going to make sure that we're doing that. We're going to click on peer-reviewed. Specifically, we want peer-reviewed journals in terms of publication type. I am actually going to limit my language to English, and that just simply means that I'll be getting articles in the English language. And this is actually one of my favorite parts. PsycInfo will let you limit a search for articles by different age groups. So I could say that I only wanted to work with adults, adulthood, 18 years and older. Or if I were more interested in career counseling in adolescence, I could limit my search by that as well. I could also focus a little bit more specifically upon young adulthood, 30s, middle age, all the way to very old. So for the purposes of our demonstration, I'm just going to say that I want articles dealing with adulthood. I want that particular age group. And I'm going to start typing again with career, counseling or career development or vocational guidance. That will look familiar. Notice I have some other things that I could do: career planning, career choice, career exploration. Try different keywords and see what you find in terms of articles. And now we're going to search. Now there's something that I did not do. It is possible in the PsycInfo database to limit your search just to articles in the database that are available in full text, but I actually did not do that, and I'm going to show you why in just a second. If I were actually doing this topic for a research paper, of course, I would want to limit my search a little bit more because I have over 4,000 articles to go through. But again, for the purposes of our tutorial, I'm just going to show you some different things that you could do here. And I'm going to keep scrolling down. And you see I have some really interesting articles that I could look at. And if I want to go to the next page, I can do that as well. Now this sounds rather interesting, and it looks like the PDF full text is available already for this particular article. So I'm going to click directly on the PDF full text. At this point, I could click on this folder over here, this folder icon that says Add to Folder. And you'll notice up here, it looks like I have some items in my folder. That's because I've added other articles over the past semester to my EBSCOhost folder. I just saved the link to this article and the link to the PDF full text in this folder. So I don't have to think about if I emailed it to myself or if I saved it on my computer. That's one reason that I do encourage people to sign in with their EBSCOhost accounts. Something else that I could do here is go to another icon here to cite. When you write any papers or do any projects for counselor education, you are going to be required to use the American Psychological Association, or APA style, for your citations. Now, the PsycInfo database is actually quite good about generating citations in correct APA style. So I could copy and paste this citation or this reference, and I could put it into a working bibliography for my paper so that I had that citation already. If you are searching in databases other than APA, I would strongly encourage you to check your APA publication manual, check any help that your professor has given you to see if you need to make any corrections in that APA citation, because sometimes they're not always 100% correct. But again, I could copy and I could paste this citation into a working paper, and then I would have that saved. And let's go back to the result list. So as we saw, this particular article did happen to be available in PDF full text. However, we are also seeing that that's not always the case. And we're going to look at record number 11 as an example. Now, this particular article, if I look at the abstract, looks very interesting. But I don't have a link over here that says that the PDF full text is available. There's one more part that you would want to do before you would request this particular item through a feature called interlibrary loan, and I'm going to show you this next. I would like to see if our library has this article maybe in another database or another resource. So I highlighted the title of the article, not the title of the journal. And I'm going to go back to my original tab for the library's webpage. I'm going back to the Discovery Search Catalog. And this time I'm actually going to paste the title of the article. And I'm not doing any other limits at this point because I'm searching just by the title of the article. And what I'm doing now is seeing if I can tell if this article might be available in another resource or in another database. And I actually got very lucky with this. It looks like Innovative Moments and Narrative Change in Career Counseling, a case study. It looks like I found some related articles, but I did not find that specific article. I did find some related articles, and I believe some of these are actually by the same authors, but it's not the actual article. I could look at the PDF full text and save these as well, but for this specific one, I did not find that specific article. Now, do not feel like you're out of luck, because at this point, if you decided that you wanted a copy of this article, you could go to Interlibrary Loan. Your screen is going to ask you to log in with your ESU username and password, and I'm going to do that. Now, if you've not done Interlibrary Loan before through our library, you would actually get a screen before this one that would ask you to enter your information, such as your name, address, your g.emporia.edu email address, and other contact information. I've actually done Interlibrary Loan before, and the reason I wanted to show you this part as we finish is that if you use Interlibrary Loan through the PsycInfo database or through another database, it will automatically populate your request for you, so you do not have to spend time copying and pasting. Now, why would I want to do this? There's a good chance that another library may have this specific journal. Now, we do not charge for Interlibrary Loan. So if I were to scroll down and click on Submit Request, there's a good chance that within about 2 to 3 working days, I would have a PDF copy for free, no charge, in my email, and I could keep a copy of that article. I emphasize that because as I go back here to my result list, if I had limited my search just to full text or linked full text over here, I would actually have missed out on this article. And I would also miss out on other articles that might not be available immediately in PsycInfo, but would be available in other databases. So I don't really like to limit just to full text. We'll go back over here. And again, I could type in other types of keywords. If I wanted careers or jobs and employment careers in psychology, careers and psychology, I can broaden out my search. Let's go back over here to the library's webpage. The final part I wanted to show you would be journals. Now, the journals link is not used if you want to search for a specific topic, as we did in the PsycInfo database. That's when you do want to go to a database that will contain a lot of different articles. However, you may have a professor who might encourage you to browse for recent articles within the title of a journal. So the journals link is very handy if you know the specific title of a journal, such as Journal of Career Development. And the journals link will then allow you to browse the tables of contents of articles in a specific journal, just as if you were browsing them in person in print. So this can be actually a very good way of getting some ideas for topics. So for example, it looks like in this latest issue of Journal of Career Development, there's an article called Career Goal Setting and Goal Pursuit in Young Adults, the Role of Financial Distress. That sounds pretty relevant. And I should be able, when I click on that link, to link to the actual article from December of 2021. And I can click on the PDF full text. I could sign in again up here with my EBSCOhost account and save that specific article. Again, the distinction is that with the Journals tab, you're browsing by the journal title. In databases, you're looking for topics from a lot of different articles for a lot of different journals. But I did want to show you that the journals link can be handy if you just want to browse the table of contents of a specific article or a specific issue within a journal and kind of get some ideas of what's being written about currently. I know this has been a quick overview, and I hope that this has been of use to you as you get started with your research. If you would like to get in contact with me or with any of our other librarians, I'm going to go over here to About the Library and go to our Library and Archives directory. And this is a directory of everyone that works at William Allen White Library. And here I am with my contact information. You can email me at ckane1@emporia.edu, or you can call me at 620-341-5480, and I'd be more than happy to set up a Zoom research appointment with you and work through any questions that you have about research. Good luck with your research and take care.